This week on Dr. Drew After Dark, why do you send me to the shower always before we have sex?
I don't know, sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls. I bolt out of bed, find my husband, and will tell him with urgency the photos are uploading to the cloud, which is really weird because I don't have a cloud account, and I've never uploaded photos. I've noticed that Tom's mom's fart video has been getting around again. God,
You're not going to videotape me farting.
No?
No.
It would be sensational.
I know.
Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Keep those emails coming at drdrewafterdark@gmail.com and the VMs, the voice messages at 818-253-1693. One and only Susan Pinsky joins me again today. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming back.
Thanks for having me.
I don't know if
Back
you guys,
in Austin,
guys, if you noticed,
Texas, loving it. Getting my weird on. Isn't that what they say? Stay weird?
I don't know, but you got a head of steam coming in today. So anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah. Isn't that what they say? Stay
Is
weird?
that what they say? Stay weird in Texas?
Keep Austin weird.
Keep weird. Keep Austin weird.
Okay. Well, I
Keep
just
on.
have to stay weird.
You have to stay weird. That'll be good enough for us. So everything good with you? You were like looking in the camera, commenting on everything ridiculously.
No, I always like to see how my hair is doing because it's growing back.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I think it's working.
And then you wanted a boob job? Is that what you said?
No, I don't need a boob job.
You do not need a boob job. That's
Thank
fine. God gave you.
I said I might need a little something.
God gave you what I need.
Yeah. God did. I waited 10 years and didn't get a boob job, and they came on their own.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Hormones.
Maybe. I think you had some repair done of your abdomen.
Yeah,
because
but I'm also heavier than I was when we got married. I like 25 pounds.
there's a report. There's been reported in the plastic surgery literature that some women, when they have liposuction, which you had as part of this reconstruction, you had to have done because of the triplet pregnancy.
I had a lot of thigh going on.
It'll go to the boobs instead because fat's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. So I had my thighs done because I had kind of big thighs, like a size 6 waist and a 13 pant leg. So when I had the tummy tuck and all the skin removed from my belly, like 4 or 5 inches of skin, they pulled out a lot of fat even though I was thin, out of my stomach too. But I guess the hips, and you have to balance it off, otherwise everything else gets bigger. And I didn't want, in those days, having a bigger butt wasn't cute. So they took some of the thighs and they took around the hips, and then it went up to my breasts. Magically.
Tell me another story, Mommy.
Well, it's interesting because, like, I didn't know that was going to happen.
No, I don't think that's kind of an unusual thing. It does happen, though. It's been reported.
Because, I still like to eat, even though after you have lipo. But after you have lipo, you still have to work out and try to take care of yourself and not get the fat back. But
Well, I want to emphasize, you had like 14 different hernias. Your abdominal wall was destroyed. You had to be reconstructed.
And I didn't have that much body fat. They like it when you have less body fat because I guess the cells are the same if they're small or big. So they don't have to take as much out if you're thin. And I think I weighed like 138 pounds or something. And then I dropped down to like 132. And they were like, we took a lot of fat out. And I was like, wow, I didn't know I had all that.
And you okay otherwise? Anything on your mind coming in here? You seem like you have you want to talk.
No, I'm just happy to be here, and I like flying to Austin and hanging out, and it's fun.
Seeing the whole Your Mom's House crew here.
Yeah, I love seeing the boys.
You haven't seen the Booth Boys in a while.
Everybody.
I don't know have Zola, you ever done a show with Susan? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's in the last one. I was in for.
Yeah.
Okay. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. We got a lot to go in here. Let's tell people what you used to say about the male callers, particularly on Loveline. What would they call about?
Well, I used to call it penis line.
Because
it was always about men's problems or questions about their anatomy and how it worked and is this normal, and it was like an hour's worth at a time.
So good. Let's keep it up. This is sensitive head. I wanted to have some insight on if I have an overly sensitive dick tip. I'm 25, I tend not to last long. I'm circumcised. I notice that even a brief touch or washing the shower, my penis tip will shoot that feeling through my body like a mini orgasm. I was under the impression that not having your foreskin makes your penis less sensitive. Is that not the case? It is not the case. It doesn't really matter. And by the way, it just doesn't matter. Does having an overly sensitive penis head make premature ejaculation unavoidable? Or how do you know if your penis is too sensitive or worth exploring options or steps to prevent this? Go ahead. Any thoughts? Farts and kisses.
I don't have a penis.
You don't have a penis?
No.
We've been all those hormones and still no penis.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't really relate, but I get it. I mean,
so look, males, the male penis sensitivity is about a much more complicated process than what's going on in the skin on the tip. I mean, and the guys that are sensitive are very sensitive. He's one of these premature guys. And that just is what it is. He has to sort of accommodate that. And mostly it's like masturbating first or going more than once, that kind of thing.
Right.
And sometimes that will help. In terms of the sensitivity, I mean, you can reduce it by using numbing creams and a condom and all things like that. But but it's
numbing cream will burn.
Well, that's why you put a for the male, not so much. It's sort of designed so it doesn't do that. But
and
it can burn.
That would be a weird feeling too.
It can burn the vagina, so a condom on top.
I use numbing cream on my face when I get laser surfacing.
So you don't want it on your vagina?
No. Because it's weird. It makes your lips all like drooly and you can't feel anything. Your nose runs. And
drooly vagina.
You'll have a drooly penis. Wouldn't
Death
be good.
grip or penile nerve damage. 24-year-old male from Kansas City worried if I might suffer from ED or death grip syndrome. Oh, I think I know where he's going. I've been dating for the past year. Finally found a cool under partner. We had a talk. And for the first time in my life, I got soft midway through, and I can't get it in or finish. I have pretty low stress, work out often, smoke weed every evening. That'll fuck you up, dude. That'll do it. Weed is so much stronger than in previous, iterations. Jerk off 1 to 3 times a day with an increasingly tight grip. Worried that I may have damaged nerves, or maybe, he has herpes, maybe herpes damaged things. Doesn't happen, really. Sensations are dull. Erection itself is not as hard as it would have liked a few months ago. I have to fix this. You bet I'll be coming up in May. You guys always brighten my day. What's going on?
You
want to see it? So here's the deal. Masturbate less. Very simple.
Death grip syndrome.
Yeah, masturbate less. The reason
What is that? Explain that.
He means he's masturbating. In order to get off 3 times a day, he has to really work on himself.
Oh,
and to the
3
point,
times a day?
Yes.
Anybody needs to work on themselves 3 times a day.
But neither here nor there. The fact is, this guy's talking about that he's overly stimulating himself 3 times a day, and he wonders why he can't perform with his girlfriend.
Right. You got to give it time in between, and then if you're soft, it means you've overdone it the day before. Maybe.
Right. Also, the weed every day.
I mean, I don't have a penis.
You don't? Okay. The weed every day. I always thought, okay. The weed every day. Weed every day also not working in your direction. Herpes causing nerve damage, no. That really doesn't happen. Sensations are dull. Erection is not as hard. This is all excessive masturbation.
Right.
And weed. So I
Death
think you
grip
very, very definitely work
syndrome.
yourself in the right direction. Getting tubes tied. My partner and I are finally getting married in 2023. We're dead set on not having kids. However, since I lost weight, she used Ozempic. You asked about how we know the names of all these medications.
Right.
GLP-1.
Oh, was that the one we saw in the
commercial
news last night?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the one that causes weight loss.
Okay.
I fear I may become pregnant, but despite of how long I've been on birth control, presently the Nuva ring, I have a long history of PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Wow.
Insulin resistant, bipolar 2. I've considered getting my tubes tied. However, it has been brought to my attention my OBGYNs won't perform a tube ligation if you've not had kids. Currently 33. What's the best way to approach this? There are people that will do various kinds of sterilization procedures. So if that's really what you want, you should be able to find that. And in terms of you being on hormonal therapies and whatnot, that kind of makes sense given your PCOS and insulin resistance. I'm glad your weight is down. I hope you might think about metformin or something for that insulin resistance. And good for you. And she writes butthole in the end because that's how women.
I guess that's where she wants it.
How women.
She doesn't want a baby.
Well, she's using a Nuva ring or something in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah, but you know what? The hormones in those contraceptions really can screw with you.
Yes.
And I hated that stuff. So, she knows she doesn't want kids. Why can't she get her tubes tied?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, not every maybe her OBGYN is sort of like her medical doctor too.
Yeah.
Thinks maybe she's jumping the gun.
Yes, but I think she can find somebody that will do it. I feel pretty secure.
Yeah.
And he can always get a vasectomy too. But we had a woman call in here. She had listened to us talk about the hormone therapies, and she did it, and it like turned her life around.
Oh, good.
And she was only like 35 or something.
Oh, good.
And so she was, struggling for a long time, 2 babies, and then doctors kept telling her just go on birth control, go on antidepressants, and she found someone to put her on. Measured everything was down. Estrogen was up, so she was able to be on just progesterone and testosterone.
Oh, good.
Turned her life around.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Is that that's like a perimenopause when you're in your 30s?
Yes.
Which happens.
Yes.
And, because they looked at me like, oh, you're too young to be going through menopause. And
They didn't even think about it.
I don't know why my doctor didn't even take my hormone levels.
Didn't even think about it.
He just told me to get you a mistress.
Have you told them the story? Have you said
yeah,
the story?
we have.
Yeah. So here we go.
I was like, that's not happening.
Started sleepwalking about a year ago. Occurs in the first 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep. I bolt out of bed, find my husband, and will tell him with urgency the photos are uploading to the cloud, which is really weird because I don't have a cloud account and I've never uploaded photos. First thought was it stress-induced? Sure. But back in October, I had 2 traumatic events back to back, but I didn't have any sleepwalking during that time. Shouldn't tell us what they were. I can't seem to find a connection between my personal life and my sleepwalking. I don't have any kind of birth control, antidepressant medication. Let me know your thoughts. Sleepwalking usually is a lifelong kind of thing.
I think when you're a kid, it starts then.
It starts then. It can start as sleep terrors, wake up crying or yelling, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I've had that, but...
You've had sleep terrors?
Yeah, I've woken up kind of...
Been a panic.
I mean... I've never slept.
Have you ever screamed? Or your parents came in when you were a kid or anything?
I mean, maybe a couple times. Like
really?
Yeah, when you're a kid.
But it wasn't like you had a bad dream and you were upset about it.
Yeah, more like bad dream.
Yeah, that seems more like
you wake up like, oh God, I'm glad that was a dream.
Yeah, but you got to kind of get this looked into. Sleepwalking can be a sign of a lot of different things, and stress is a part of it. But unless you had sleep terrors before and you suddenly started sleepwalking. That's a kind of unusual to me, and I would talk to your doctor about it. Make sure there's not something else going on. What your body can react in a lot of funny ways when something significant is going on. You can get pain syndromes, you get headaches, you get fevers, you can get, abnormal sleep patterns, and so I always worry when all of a sudden people get abnormal sleep patterns.
Remember when Paulina was little and I was sitting in my office and all of a sudden I heard the front door open? And I looked down and she was at the front door looking out. And I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm looking for my mother. And I go, I'm your mother. And she goes, no, my other mother.
My real mother.
The other mother. And so there was a book they were reading in school called The Other Mother. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
or there was
it was a story.
Yeah.
And Angeline or something. Or what was her name?
There was The Other Mother.
Yeah.
And I was like, get your ass back in bed. Wake up.
All right, let's take some calls here. Here we go.
She was going to go right down the front stairs into the driveway.
It's Christina from West Virginia. Hi, Christina.
Hey, Dr. Drew. How are you?
We are good. How are you?
I'm good. I understand I have Mrs. Pinsky as well.
So hello. What's your name?
Christina.
Christina.
My name's Christina. I'm honored to share the main mommy's name.
Yeah, Mommy.
Yes.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Well, hey, Jean. Thanks for having me on.
You betcha.
Hey, Mommy.
So I am... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, she called you Mommy. I've never heard her do that before, so it's very funny.
I'm trying.
Go ahead.
Thank you. First time. So I am in the midst of a 21-day cleanse. I'm basically wanting to get everything from carbs out, sugar-free, weed-free, and alcohol-free. I just really want to jumpstart my metabolism and weight loss so that I can get back to working out. I've recently had ACL reconstruction surgery, so I was a soccer player for years, and I'm ready to get back out there, but I want to lose the weight because obviously I've gained some.
Okay.
I've been reading that enemas can help cleanse the colon as well and continue to help get rid of those toxins, specifically like coffee and saltwater enemas. Can you elaborate or give me some suggestions?
Christina, I bristle at the word toxin because whenever anybody says it, I just slide a piece of paper out and I go, just show me the chemical formula of that toxin. Just write it down. Just the most basic chemistry. Just write its structure down. And then once you write its structure down, write me the stoichiometry of how it does damage. Just the very, very basic chemistry.
Stoichiometry?
It just means the pathways of, the balance and pathways of damage. And of
Did
course,
you know what that was, Christina? Stoichiometry?
Yes.
You did?
See, she's studied her chemistry.
Oh, good girl.
And no one can ever do that.
I went into pre-med because I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. I wanted to do autopsies to figure out why people died, but then I went off elsewhere. So I do have some pre-med background.
Nice.
That's why I'm
I love it.
like really reading.
Are you a friend of? Are you a fan of Nicole and Jemmy?
No, sir, I'm
you
not.
should check out her Instagram, Mrs._Angemi. She is a pathology tech who is very committed to medical education and just puts up tons of posts on the stuff you're interested in.
Okay, I read a lot of Patricia Cornwell when I was going through school, so that's what got me into it.
It's really graphic though.
Mrs._Angemi, Angemi. You'll love it. She's the best. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, the reason people feel better off saltwater enemas is the osmotic load you're putting across the rectum, which pulls water out so you feel like you've lost weight because you are dehydrated.
Right.
Coffee, you feel better because it's also an absorptive lining of the colon as well. And so you're absorbing a ton of caffeine, so you feel energized, and I feel better. It's all nothing. It's all in nothing. You're doing everything right.
Oh.
No weed, no alcohol, no carbs, better exercise.
Yeah.
You want to read a really good
Protein
book?
cleanse. Christina,
a friend of mine just wrote a book. He was a cancer surgeon. Now he's a longevity specialist, called Outlive by Peter Attia. That is the best book I have seen on these basic phenomenon, and really he goes through really in good detail all the biology, but it's highly accessible. Anybody can read it.
Nice.
Okay, I'll add it to my Amazon book list.
Outlive,
well, congratulations on your cleanse. That's
well
phenomenal.
done. Get her done.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Make it a way of life, right? Now you're on it. Just don't think of it as a 20-day cleanse.
She doesn't have to stay completely on it, but
okay, you can. Susan is saying you can have some vodka once in a while.
No.
That's what she's alluding to.
No, I mean, but do it. Introduce healthy things back and do everything in moderation, and then you'll be okay. And I honestly, like cleanses, I've never really been into.
It just doesn't make biological sense.
I mean, from the bottom up.
I am for whatever gets people going in a healthy direction.
Yeah.
If they need to do something extreme to get themselves going, I totally understand.
Yeah.
But in terms of really getting where you want to go, Christina, I think it's about living, making it the way of life.
Yeah.
I did that carnivore thing for years.
Well, that's a cleanse, sort of. Like that's a protein cleanse.
But that's the point. Even the word cleanse is like, what are we talking about here? What does that mean?
Right. I mean, you don't have to say diet or you don't have to say cleanse, but it's a way of life, like you said, and it's healthy.
Look at this. This is good. This is very much on the topic you and I were just discussing, the hormone issues with Karen.
Can't see it.
Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Dr. Drew. How are you?
It is so great that you called today because my wife Susan is here. She has been through what you're going through, and we were just talking about it. So let's hear your question.
Yes. Well, okay. So here it is. I just turned 50 in 22, and I'm kind of freaking out about it because I can't sleep. I don't want to have sex. I'm hot and cold, usually during the nighttime, not so much during the day. I just can't sleep. And I'm so I go like 0 to 100 with irritability, like you wouldn't believe. And
I would.
told that there's no option. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said, no, I would, because I'm sitting next to somebody that's been through this.
Okay.
I would believe it.
I'm being told that my mother had breast cancer, and it was caused by lengthy use of Premarin.
Maybe.
The doctor had her on it for apparently too long.
Maybe. Okay.
Okay. And so they're telling me that I cannot take hormone replacement therapy because they're too concerned that it would cause breast cancer in me. And I'm wondering if that's true.
It is a very reasonable concern. Have you had the BRCA genes tested?
I have not.
Okay, so you want to do that testing, right? So do that first. So if you're a BRCA 1 or 2, then no, I'm sorry, you can't do estrogen. That's just a different situation. But if you are not, it's still, there are still people that would advocate that you give it a shot, provided you understand the risk. For instance, there is some data out there. Now, this is not standard of care yet, but there is data that suggests that estrogen plus testosterone may actually reduce your risk of breast cancer. So if you're taking both of those hormones, and the progesterone is helpful also in terms of...
You have to take the progesterone.
Yeah, progesterone's for the uterus mostly.
Yeah,
for the mostly.
avoid the cancer.
But there are ways to do this, but you have to find somebody that has a lot of experience with
Right.
it.
You have to go to a hormone specialist, and you have to also get your levels checked. And the basic idea is to keep your levels even at all times,
and back to normal,
the
back to
mood
where they
swings,
should be.
it doesn't have to be super high, but as long as you're not going up and down like in perimenopause. So your body just cycles these hormones in and out. And when it's at a high, you're okay, but when it's at a low, you're just angry or you don't want sex. So they try to even it out. And they tried using birth control with me at the beginning. But when you have breast cancer in your family, are they...
It's also a concern.
Yeah.
Right?
So I don't know what the data is now. If it's more like when I've talked to a lot of women who can't do it because of the fact that they have breast cancer in their family. Yeah. But like my doctor is really good, and I don't know if you're in the Los Angeles area, but
she's in Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
What was that group we talked to a couple times? BioTE? Was that them?
No, that was something else. It was Gary, Dr. Donnelly, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. But
you would look online. There are people that do this stuff,
right? But I mean, or go to your primary physician and find somebody who does hormone therapy for women who just does that, or a really good OBGYN, because not everybody understands this technology, and I don't know what the data is, and you have to research it and look it up and see if it's okay.
It is. If you have a first-degree relative with breast cancer, it puts it in a different category of risk for sure. If you're non-BRCA 1 or 2 with a history of breast cancer in a close relative, how old was she when she got it?
I believe she was around my age, so probably between 50 and 55.
And you should be really watching that anyways.
Right.
And if you can do any kind of preventative stuff, make sure, you really keep up. And that reminds me, I have to get my mammogram. I keep forgetting I have to schedule it. I'm overdue. But thanks for reminding me. But just find somebody who's really good in the field and understands it.
I just spoke to a woman a couple weeks ago that was able to take only testosterone and progesterone and had an excellent response.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be the estrogen also, but you need to be with somebody that really has some experience with using these hormones. Thanks, Karen.
So, I wish you all the best.
So let's look at a couple of videos.
But do it. Just go out and do it and find the right person.
I see calloused feet up there again. Is this the same calloused feet? Are we going to show it just to gross Susan out? Which I wouldn't mind doing. I wouldn't mind doing it.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Do that. Let's do it. You'll like this.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the toughest feet right there I've ever seen in my life.
It's like a hoof.
You look at that callus. You know it's about that
don't be
thick.
like...
I know it is. I mean, good God.
This thing will do anything. See, look here. You can stick a cigarette to it.
Burning cigarette.
That don't hurt.
Don't hurt.
Is it? Move that cigarette.
Oh, God.
Let me see you hit it. See if it's lit.
What is wrong with this fucking guy? He needs some callus remover and a good scrub.
I don't think
and a razor.
Yeah, you see how they have to chip away at the hoof of horses. You're gonna need something like that.
Well, my mom had kind of feet like that.
No, not like that.
Not like that, but
take a look. That's like half an inch
it's
thick.
It's like green and yellow and fungus.
I think I was walking out in the woods without any shoes on.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know what though? He can walk outside without any shoes on.
I know, right? I was wondering how humans did that. Now it kind of makes sense. All right, let me see what other
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's me. From me to you.
Ooh.
This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. God, it's easy to get caught up in what everybody else needs from you, but you can get burned out. When we spend all our time giving, it can make you feel like you're spread too thin, burned out, depleted. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life and give you some restoring sense of taking care of yourself. Whether or not you've been in therapy or not, you might want to consider BetterHelp. Of course, I'm a big fan of therapy. I've been in therapy myself many years, been referring family, friends, patients, and very pleased with the services they provide. And look, I've heard a lot about stigma. There's no longer any stigma if it's all online. You're not going to run into anybody. There's no waiting room. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists anytime for any reason, no additional charge. Find balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/afterdark today to get 10% off that first month. Again, that is BetterHelp, HELP.com/afterdark. What is let's see. Okay, I got a bunch of stuff to look at here. So chiropractic adjustments is a lane of sort of, is it a TikTok probably, right?
Yeah, I think that's where
Yeah,
this
let's
came
see
from.
what we got here.
Putting a cigarette out.
Oh yeah, I saw this one.
Oh,
Oh, damn!
There we go.
Oh, my God! Oh, God!
what?
Yeah, that takes your breath away.
Oh yeah, I bet it does.
God.
That can be good for you.
I have now seen several cases of
Oh, that takes your breath away.
stroke caused by that
Oh,
maneuver.
goodness.
Not that particular maneuver, but by look up spinal arteries.
Oh, my
on the,
goodness, that takes your breath away.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's a shocker to your system.
She just keeps saying it.
all cracked.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't move anymore.
That's a
But
shocker.
Heard it.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
I saw it.
Oh, that's a shocker. That's pretty good,
You
Jay.
breathe better?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh,
Wow.
Still kicking too. See, all right.
yeah.
those are
that's pretty
hyper
good.
reflexive,
That's pretty
guys.
Oh my God.
Does she fall down?
How does it feel?
good. That smells good.
Feels good.
Oh, good.
All right, good. She's alive. Show me the spinal
Thank
arteries, and I'll
God.
show you how easy it is to tear those things.
Oh no.
I've now seen.
I remember
we
you.
had
I heard
dinner-
you
we had-
talking to somebody.
in New Orleans. We had a dinner with a woman who'd had a massive stroke from this. You can't really see. All right.
Oh yeah, the woman at dinner. Oh,
Yeah. Well, the point is the spinal arteries run through the cervical spine and up into the base of the brain. And it's just easy to tear them. And if you tear them, they'll throw emboli and you'll get a big old stroke.
Yeah,
It's
you
just-
have to be careful with.
Oh, there we go. On the
chiropractic.
left, lower left. Whoops. Go on. Lower left. There you are. I mean, you can sort of see it there. The point is, you are messing with.
So what was he trying to do? He's just trying to
That was just a chiropractic adjustment.
I mean, but what does that mean? Like, what are you adjusting?
I don't know.
when you pull their neck
they
out
have
like
all kinds
that.
of theories about it. I don't.
Compressed spine, or is it the? I've never done it because
I
you've
mean,
always told me to
Apparently,
avoid.
this patient had debilitating migraines, and so he was doing this to her to.
Well, we'll see if the
cure
migraines
those.
come back. If they were true migraines, there should not be any effect from that.
Yeah,
None.
yeah.
If they were cervical spine
I've heard
generated
Botox works for migraines.
I'm not a fan.
Oh.
I've had patients get it. One of the patients developed a complete neck drop. Couldn't lift her neck up afterwards, and it didn't do much for her headaches.
I get Botox in these bands in my neck because I have really tight from being bent over my phone or whatever. So they put Botox there, and it lifts your chin up so it doesn't.
Congratulations.
I know. I got to get some more because they're coming back. It doesn't last very long because I have really strong neck bands. Because like when I do sit-ups and stuff, it grows them back really fast. But I wouldn't have Botox in the back of my neck because you have
Well,
to hold
it can move around and cause paralysis elsewhere.
I would think you'd get it like in
That's
your
one of the,
forehead or
sometimes
whatever.
you do that. Sometimes.
Which I kind of need because I have really
Don't do
tight
that.
muscles.
That's not.
I've never gotten Botox here ever.
Really? Okay. You could have fooled me. I think I paid for it.
It was free. Come on.
All right. So these North Korea TikToks, talk to me about this. I'm fascinated.
So this is a new lane of TikTok that Christina's found, which basically just kind of seems like propaganda, but it's people talking about like tourism in North Korea and why you should go visit.
How great North Korea is. Are you
Yeah.
allowed to visit North Korea?
I'm not exactly sure, but some of these people got it figured out.
Maybe certain countries are allowed in or something? We're not?
Yeah, well, this is Zoe, and she went to North Korea.
All right.
Go Zoe.
Okay, so a little bit of story time here, guys. Stick with me because I'm about to tell you what on earth I am doing with this account, why I go to North Korea all the time, and yeah, whether I really am a spy or not. So, firstly, I am a tour guide to North Korea. And I do that, there's me, hello, in North Korea. I do that basically because I believe in the good that North Korea tourism does, both inside and outside the country. All of these videos, all these pictures that you can see behind me, I took them all in North Korea. Everything I post on here is my own personal content. Why am I a tour guide in North Korea? Basically, I believe in the ethics of it. That's a whole different video.
Does she give
what
us
I
that
do
video?
here is I
Do we
try and
see that video
promote
later?
that tourism to North Korea and make it more accessible, because most people don't even know that you can visit North Korea. So I want to kind of change that and make it more, available to everyone else. Oop, there's a bikini shot, sorry. The reason that I do this stuff as well, there's actually 3 reasons. So the first reason is the promotion of North Korea tourism. The second reason is because I want to expand on the North Korean narrative, okay? Everyone has an opinion on North Korea, but very few people actually do any research into North Korea, and even fewer people actually ever visit. So I want to expand that narrative that we already have on North Korea. You know, all the politics, the leaders, the missiles and stuff like that. I want to expand that narrative, let you guys know that there's more to North Korea than just that. Show you guys a kind of different side to it. Obviously, that means that I'm showing you the positive side, so it seems like it's propaganda. You know, if you want to make that interpretation, that's fine. But then I advise you to think about your own interpretation of propaganda in any kind of media that you consume. The third and final thing that I hope to kind of do...
I think you get the point.
I get the point.
Yeah.
So does it... Scroll to the end. What's the final point?
The point is you should go to North Korea, right? Oh, here's the end.
That's why I do what I do. I'm not a spy, sorry. Yeah, and I'm definitely not paid by the North Korean government.
You see how you see the white
anyone,
above her
actually.
eyes?
So, never mind. Thanks for listening.
White above the eye is like, that's a concerning thing when you see that. Like if you can see literally the white above somebody's iris.
Okay.
That's either
she's on speed.
With speed, thyroid disease, or panic. Like she's like somebody holding a gun to her head as she says
so
this
that was
stuff.
actually a cry for help. Like,
she should blink
I'm
SOS.
Say this is so wonderful here, but
isn't that weird?
You need to come.
Well, I hope there's more peace.
Help me.
Whatever. I don't get it.
No, but I mean, I think that's lovely that she puts that TikTok together, because people are afraid to go places that seem scary, and
because that one kid was beaten to death.
Right. I
for
mean,
touching a picture.
You need to know the rules.
Although it looks better than California. I got to say, it looks a lot better than California, just looking at the picture she put up there.
Yeah, but if you know the rules and you don't overstep your boundaries.
The North Korea, they don't show you.
Love her outfit.
Well, I just would want to know more about where she's allowed to go. And that
we crashed their party, not them crashing ours. Just after a park, dancing on a holiday.
Like I said, better than California.
No,
I have no doubt about that.
I mean, they live harmoniously in their own world. They're not all in war zones all day or being tortured in the streets. They're,
people are living.
And she's a beautiful blonde girl. She can go over there and she's like a princess. Like they love the blondes.
Oh, interesting.
So
I'm also thinking about how much more horrible California is than this. And I just started thinking about Michael Malice's idea that the United States are going to divorce themselves. California will become like North Korea. They'll probably arm themselves up and they'll have another. They've already got their dictator. I mean, they're good to go. They're good to
California.
Go. It's interesting.
According to my son.
Right.
But I get how she sort of likes the tourism and being in a place that's different and that she's aware of culturally. And
what does Christina think about this?
There's not like
she can't get enough of it.
Why?
She likes the weird stuff.
Yeah, but that's not
weird.
It's not weird. It's just.
But it's like, do you want to go to China right now? Do you want to go to Taiwan? Like people are very disillusioned about what it's like there. Like it's something bad. But it isn't. It's not. It's their politics and the way they run their countries and the way that they're fighting with other nations and they have, I mean, it's like going to Cuba, for example. It's a communist country. When you go there, it's really tough getting in there. But once you're in there, the people are really lovely.
Of course.
But you have to be careful. You can't go out and start trying to sell capitalist ideals. And,
Right.
And
But
you know,
as always, it's the people. It's always about the governments and not the people.
Right,
And
yeah.
that's what's so troubling about totalitarian governments.
Yeah,
Because they
yeah.
have total fiat
so
authority.
like I had this sort of I wanted to go to China for a really long time. We stopped over in Hong Kong. And when we went, I was kind of like, it wasn't as great as I thought it would. You know what I mean? I always had these
What did you imagine?
preconceived. I don't know. I just thought it would be a little bit flashier and more like, Rodeo Drive or something. I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but now,
So Dubai like.
and it kind of like was I don't want to go to China anymore. But like India, for example, like, do you want to go to India?
No.
Yeah, because we're watching
I
90
won't-
Day Fiance and we're seeing how rough it is over there. It's not your cup
Gentlemen,
of tea.
I told you I was gay.
Yeah.
Told you. 90 Day Fiance every Sunday night.
That's where we get all our cultural information is from 90 Day Fiance. But no, but I think that if you go, on vacation there, then there are places that you would really enjoy, but it would
Yeah.
probably be like a nice hotel and, the fancier parts of the area. But culturally, we all have to be open to trying to understand cultures inside of their crazy, tyrannical worlds,
Right.
just because they have
Well, we now have our own.
Well, I
Callie
mean,
from Virginia. What's going on there?
that's what I took
Hi,
away.
Dr. Jean.
Hi there, mommy.
He keeps talking about California. Hi.
So I've had 2 bad pap smears, abnormal pap smears, come back in the past 3-ish years. And so that's resulted in 2 colposcopies. And I was just wondering what happens after this point. Do I just keep getting colposcopies? Is there she talked about scraping, but she didn't really go into much detail. So
Yeah.
just wondering what your take is on that.
I think of it as something that just you have to stay on top of. It'll come in these little sort of flares, and you have to get the endocervix sort of taken care of because it increases the risk of cervical cancer, right? And you just got to stay on top of it. Just like if you were having skin cancers. I think of it sort of that way.
Is it a DNC?
No.
Or a scraping of what?
I think she means, you mean as a LEAP procedure? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere they take the endocervix and really scrape it out.
Comfortable.
And really the problem with HPV is in the mouth of the cervix, the central part.
Right.
That's the part that can get out of hand really quick.
Okay.
And so you just got to keep burning it and freezing it and cutting it and all that kind of good stuff.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, it's fun.
It's uncomfortable, but if you have to do it, you just have to stay on top of it. And are your periods irregular or something?
No. It's all from pap smears.
Nope.
That's why you get pap smears.
Yeah.
And so she just has to get she keeps finding abnormal paps. They go in and do a colposcopy, which is like a microscope on the cervix. They freeze. They probably freezing stuff to this point, right?
And biopsying.
And biopsying and checking it, making
make
sure
sure it's not cancer.
And have you had the carcinoma in situ, that kind of thing?
I don't believe I have yet.
Not even that.
Do they take blood tests too to check?
No.
Or ultrasounds?
And did you have the vaccine when you were younger?
I did.
Ugh, it's so weird to me. I always feel more comfortable when women have abnormal paps having had the vaccine, but I was expecting when I say I'm a fan of the vaccine, I always get attacked by the anti-vaxxers who come at me about cases like yours. And we have people in our family that have this exact same thing. And I always feel weird, like, God, I was expecting really to wipe out cervical cancer. But I've seen such good response from it. I sort of feel more comfortable with it, with people like you. You know what I mean? You still got to stay on top of it and watch it and everything. But the risk of going on to cancer, as long as you're diligent, I don't worry about it that much. So you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome. That
All right.
makes me feel so much better.
All right, good. Just stay on top of it, though. Don't miss any visits. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well done,
Thanks,
Kelly.
Mommy.
Yeah, Mommy.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
The cervix and the uterus and it's a lot of work. You got to always
How
work
about the prostate and the...
You got to get it every year. You have to get that.
I know women get used to that kind of stuff from a very young age, and that's one of the things that keeps men from going to the doctor. They're just not used to it.
And then the
They have no
mammogram.
maintenance. The saying always is, you don't want a female genital tract before the age of 50, and you don't want a males after the age of 50.
Yeah.
Because you guys get off the hook at 50.
I'm just so glad I don't have periods anymore. I see people crying about their menstruation cycles and maybe having the vaccine screwing them up, and I just go, God, I'm so glad that's over.
I've never seen that bothered you though. I had other.
It was hard before, kids.
Really?
But yeah, it was. But then I went on birth control after that, so they got more. But I was very hormonal in my teens and in 20s.
But
like
you're
it
not
would just.
you're not the kind of person that had heavy periods.
I get horrible zits and.
Yeah, but you didn't have heavy periods or painful periods. I didn't ever see you having that kind of thing.
I was good at hiding stuff from you.
Really? You were hiding stuff?
I wanted to be perfect in your eyes.
Really? So to that point, I'm glad you brought that up. After 40 years of marriage, we're still learning things.
Yeah.
And you still teach me things about women that I was like, God, I should really have understood that, and I just didn't understand it. And what's the puss? What are you thinking about?
Well, you're kind of busy guy, You
No, but there's things that we as males and females just don't talk about. We just don't, and I don't know what that is. Why we don't. Like that should be like part of our education. These differences that women sort of.
Because they're so preoccupied with the
penis. What are some of the other stuff that you think people need to know about male female differences? That maybe it took me a long time to figure out.
I don't know. I didn't want to share a lot of my, drama around my period. That just didn't seem that sexy. Unless I was having really bad pain and I needed your help. But it was a pain in the ass. And men have to really understand that. Like Christina, see, if I have PMS, don't say, do you have PMS?
Right.
My mother used to say, I think you have water on your brain this week. And I would go, okay. So, it came around every month. She always knew. She'd tell me I had water on my brain.
How do we explain it now?
Because I would just get so wacky. And
what do we say now?
I don't know what you say now.
How do we explain wackiness now? It's not water on the brain.
Well, I think that's better than saying, are you having your period? Are you?
I am surprised that you not have anything to say about this, because you had taught me a great deal about these differences.
I don't know. Maybe I have Alzheimer's. I can't remember.
But so nothing comes to mind in terms of differences and
there's a lot of differences between men and women.
But the things that sort of men don't know.
Women are much more superior. And their brains are bigger.
That I know.
And they think, they're always thinking about the other person and themselves. Men are just very focused on themselves and getting laid, pretty much. That's it.
All right.
I mean, there's some great guys out there. I don't mean to say that.
Let's see if we can get some calls.
I don't know what you're looking for. Like, what is it that you're looking
thoughts.
For? No, I think men and women are different. It's just clear.
Dustin from Michigan.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Yeah,
how's it going, Mommy?
Hey, Mommy. What's happening?
Well, I think I should probably give you a little context as to my question. I threw my back out a number of years ago. I used to be a bodybuilder and a cage fighter. And I herniated my L4 and my L5 disc. And I've been having some progressive, I think it's neuropathy in my left thigh. The outer part of my left eye is almost completely numb. I've been through physical therapy, and my neurosurgeon didn't surgery on my back. I'm just wondering if the leg numbness is a result of the lumbar issues I caused myself.
I don't know. I don't think so. That doesn't fit the anatomy at all, number one. And number two, you're describing essentially that there's a nerve that comes through the IT band in the lateral thigh, and if you're doing things like steroids and whatnot, it can cut that off. And so you just get the nerve squeezed in that thick band of fibrous tissue there. And it's pretty common. It doesn't do anything. It's a nothing.
Any advice on maybe some kind of therapy?
Why?
Well, it's extremely painful.
You have pain.
My outer thigh is.
You said you had numbness.
It burns constantly. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you said it was numb. So you have neuropathic pain there. Ooh, that's a very different story.
Extreme.
I'm sorry. That's very different. So you have, oh boy. Well, pain specialists, they actually have a lot of fancy procedures they can do sometimes when these isolated specific peripheral nerves get involved. They can do stuff. They can probably turn the pain into numbness is probably what they can do.
What about acupuncture or something?
I'm just not likely to do much because neuropathic pain is so difficult and so bothersome. It's really an awful pain. So I apologize, Dustin, for being sort of glib about it. And it's still probably that same thing I talked about, but it's different once you get the pain syndrome.
And that's from bodybuilding?
The steroids, maybe. And so have you talked to a pain specialist about this?
It's been a while. I've kind of just been toughing it out. I'm a single dad. I have a 7-year-old that I take care of full time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to make time.
And you don't want to take opioids?
It's gotten progressively worse over the years.
No, neuropathic pain has a way of getting worse, and there really are not good medicine for it. That's one of the frustrating parts about it. That's why, the good news is that if it is, and by the way, back injuries, let's say this was related to your lumbar spine, back injuries and pain, the surgeries don't typically correct the pain. They just don't. They correct it for a while, but it almost always comes back, and sometimes it even makes it worse. So I'm not a fan of...
But not physical therapy or swimming or hot jacuzzis?
I suppose, have they tried, sort of stretching the IT band and all that stuff?
I stay as active as I possibly can. I've actually been through quite a bit of leg stuff. I dislocated my left knee. I've had my ACL and my meniscus repaired, and I was in a car accident about a year ago. I've got a steel plate and like 10 screws in my right femur.
Wow!
So, and where is the pain? On the right or the left?
Oh, the left.
Yeah.
That's a
Are you
lot
on pain
of leg
meds?
injury.
Yeah. Are you on pain medication?
Injuries.
No, I'm not. I've actually been sober since 2017.
Oh, good.
I drink occasionally, but
right.
I got off drugs a long time ago.
Good. Congratulations. Well, look, I
because this is the kind of thing that'll take you down that path.
And I sense your desperation, and I understand the desperation, but I think the only thing I could say is they literally can go and do stuff to that. When you have a single nerve that's causing the pain, you can kind of do a lot of stuff.
Really?
There's a lot of things you can do procedurally. And
what kind of doctor does that?
A pain specialist.
Okay.
Pain specialists do that. They like doing procedures,
right?
Because it really does help.
But that's why I was saying like acupuncture or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's not likely to work. It's the guy that's having this kind of pain. But
I get it.
I send people to acupuncture. It's worth a try if that's what he wants to do. But I feel like he's been through so much. Poor guy.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's that's a lot of stuff.
A car accident. Jeez.
I know. So I see that Unk Shine's got something up there for us. What's going on with him?
He has a little message for Christina this week.
Oh, for Christina.
Yeah.
Susan, let's see what this is.
I want to know who Unk Shine is.
You don't know who Unk Shine?
Hey,
there he
morning,
is. Oh, I know.
Christina. How you doing, my baby? Oh, you so beautiful, Christina. Yeah, girl. I'm trying to tell you now, you got some black pants on. With a green shirt. Christina, just give me one chance to touch your stupid ass. You got a stupid ass. You and Megan.
Oh.
Yeah, girl, y'all got some stupid ass with them drawers y'all wearing, Christina. You and Megan, y'all got some fire drawers. I want to smell them drawers.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, Christina. I'm going to pass my tongue in your ass. Megan, you too. Glover, Megan Glover. You my baby. I'm trying to tell you now, Megan Glover.
Hello.
So great.
So why?
He wants to smell the mommy jeans.
Why do men want to smell your underwear? What is that?
Come on, Eddie, help me out here.
I don't know.
What do you think? My instinct is it's almost. I don't think they really want to smell your underwear. It's a little bit of territory marking behavior. Does that fit with anybody? Because you don't really care. Most guys don't really care, but they're sort of like, you know how an animal, a dog, when your dog's coming up to say, he's either peeing on you or smelling on you.
I guess.
It's sort of. Am I onto anything, gentlemen? Is that yeah?
Does it just like trigger a memory of having sex?
Maybe. It's not our jam. That's the thing. We're reaching.
Right, but he wants to smell her underwear.
It's Unk Shine's jam.
Do you like how Drew smells, Susan?
Yeah, he smells pretty good.
All the time?
No.
No. Some of the time, not so good.
No, you always smell pretty good. You're pretty fastidious about your...
Why do you send me to the shower always before we have sex?
I don't know. Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls. Sweaty balls she doesn't like. So I'm sent to the showers, gentlemen.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just like, she's playing with her hair when she gets so comfortable. It's hysterical. So why did you send me to the shower?
All right, that's going to be on the clip.
What? But why send the poor guy to the shower? It's one thing if I've been running or something, I get that. I get it.
After you run.
But even just like today, you'd send me to the shower.
It's been a long day.
See how she is? See how that goes?
In those jeans.
I mean, I'm with her. I do the same shit.
No, I like to be clean too.
No. I tell my girl to go shower.
Oh, do you? Yeah. You like her to shower?
Yeah, why don't you go clean yourself up, babe? Let's do something.
Yeah.
I say let's shower.
Let's shower.
Oh, good idea.
Good idea. You hate the shower with me.
No, I mean, if, so it doesn't look like you need to go take a shower.
Oh, I see.
Which I do to you all the time.
All the time.
But you do it instantly.
Of course.
Pretty fast.
Motivated.
You have a little soap going on after that. It's
you
clean.
find
clean.
soap where it doesn't belong?
Yeah.
Trying to tell me something?
No, I guess, okay, part of it is that, like, I like to take a shower because, especially after I do brown or whatever you guys say.
Oh, brown.
Because all my life I've had a vagina.
Oh.
And
have you? Your whole life?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the real deal.
Remember I said I was learning stuff?
Yes. So
it's the real deal.
Yeah. So like,
now I know where that Coke commercial has a whole new meaning to me.
If you've ever had a yeast infection or any kind of like infection
with my vagina,
you want to keep it really clean, like so you don't get infections.
I see.
So like if you have any debris, on the
So
you're going to be shoving it in there, and it's going to cause a possible infection. I don't have that as much now because I guess because my period's over. I don't know. I don't understand the biology, but I think after having a few urinary tract infections,
it's not a bad practice for
yeah,
UTI.
I mean, I used to get STIs all the time.
STIs?
What do you call them?
UTIs.
UTIs.
Yeah. Again, you need to tell
my
me something?
medical profession is coming out now.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
Really?
No, I used to get UTIs. And then I'd get a yeast infection from taking antibiotics. And then I'd have to deal with that with some other stuff. And after a while, you just like, I don't even get it started.
So let's go back to brown.
I don't want to rub your dirty stuff on my clean stuff either.
I get it. That's reasonable.
It's sort of a subconscious thing.
It's fine.
I think
we're done. Going back to brown. Go back to brown. Get back to brown and farts. There's been a lot of fart questions.
Yeah.
One of the questions we've had recently was why the farts with a lot of noise don't smell. But that's not always true, is it?
Because I think it's just more air and less methane.
So it's sort of diluted. It's less concentrated.
Right?
I think that's something like that. But even sometimes with the air, the large volume gas is different. The methane is usually a smaller volume, and so if there's a lot of air going through it, maybe things you're swallowing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe
separate from the methane
or something that you ate.
Yeah, but
causes the gas.
But I can get a double whammy. I can have both problems, right?
Well, you're so much better now. Like you don't smell as much anymore.
Watch the diet.
Yeah, he eats clean. He's using his Metamucil every day, and he's
good to go.
Yeah, he doesn't eat garlic or onions because that always gets him. But
I've noticed that Tom's mom's fart video has been getting around again, and I thought to myself, God,
you're not going to videotape me farting.
No,
no.
How did you know I was going right there?
Because I know you want to do that.
It would be sensational.
I know. It would.
Here's the thing about Tom's mom's fart, though. She didn't know it was being recorded.
Yeah, that's not fair either.
Oh, I understand, but I feel a little guilty if I were to if I sneak up on her, that's one thing. But if I do it without telling her, it could, I got to get her blessing before I get it up there.
You got to tell her after. You got to record it.
No, I'll find a way to record it. Don't worry. I kind of have a strategy.
Oh my God, you guys!
It's why should I record it if I'm not going to put it up though? I want to get her.
God, I wish I could fart right now just so you could have it on tape. I can't though.
You can't?
Yeah, it's not happening.
Is Blind Bob around? Can we get a little Blind Bob in here for
Bob's
Susan?
always around.
Yeah, I think Susan might enjoy.
He likes the farts.
He likes
fart in my feet, honey.
He likes a lot of stuff.
I think you would like a lot of
Justin,
stuff.
I really like your videos, and I hope you continue to do them. And me being blind, please, I'd appreciate you doing them to where I can hear. And, I'd like you to turn the recorder on when you go into the bathroom and let me hear you undo your belt, pull your pants down, set the toilet seat down, and sit down and do a good stream of pee in the water and a good shit. And for me, since I can't see, if you could describe what it looks like in the toilet, just a fun thing. And
just a fun thing.
Keep the recorder on from the beginning to the end when you flush the toilet.
Okay.
Okay.
You're done,
please
Susan?
get back with me and let me know. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
I will.
We have a much longer one if you want.
Yeah. Does he jerk off to that? Like what
It's just a
happens?
fun thing. I don't know.
It's a fun thing.
Yeah, it's just
like it turns him on.
I guess it's a male, so I'm
It's
guessing.
so funny. It's so funny.
Not a female doing that.
No, it's funny though. Men like that stuff.
It's funny to me. That makes you laugh.
I know. It's just so weird though. It's like it's like a
It's hard to understand as a female perspective.
sociological experiment.
I think it's a little more biological than sociological.
I know, but watching these guys talk about what makes them happy, like, wow.
Listening to somebody shit and good stream of
I
pee.
mean, you've never had a problem with poop and pee all over you when you work as a doctor. So
No,
men just
it's
have
never-
no
yeah, it's
like.
just- well, my female colleagues get through it too. They don't seem to be.
But
that.
do you have any like weird fetishes about that? Like, have you
No.
ever thought, oh, I want her to poop on me?
No. Well, I think the message here is that unless I for some reason haven't thought of it, I've told you everything. There's
Yeah.
like nothing. I got zero.
Yeah, you're pretty. You're
Zero.
Pretty,
But I still learn things about you pretty much every day. Or every week anyway.
like what, honey?
I've seen
Honey
like
bunny.
that you hate people being called honey.
Well, I don't like to poop in front of you.
That I've known for
You
quite
know
some time.
that. Like I make you leave the room.
Right.
But because if you are in the shower or something, because in New York we have a very small house, and he's in the shower and
Shower's opaque, though.
When he hears me, he starts laughing, and I'm like, please don't listen.
And my feeling sort of is why you take that fun away from me? Why don't you entertain me? Gentlemen, right? Why would you?
It's so weird though.
By yourself on this one, Chief.
See, and he's on my
Well,
side.
you've been married a long time. You can have to find ways to entertain yourself.
Well, we have two bathrooms. I just spit all over myself. We have two bathrooms in our master suite. So like we don't ever share a toilet at the same time.
You know what cracks me up about this one is she's a specimen. And when she does things that are not specimen-like, it cracks my shit up.
Specimen.
So she has like...
I love that you think that.
She has
about
like
me.
allergies. And she gets stuffy nose and allergy. To me, that's
No, I always have a runny nose. Yeah.
high comedy. She's otherwise the specimen, and then has a runny nose. It's like,
And then I
ridiculous.
fart when I wake up.
And you have that in the morning.
It's pretty funny. I know what time it is.
I do too.
It's an alarm clock.
Wow.
It's so
It's time to
funny.
get up. It's literally like a
7 o'clock. Yeah.
a bugle call. Oh
Oh my
Good morning,
God,
my
it's-
dick. What's that? What is it? What is it? Good morning,
Good
my
morning,
dick.
my
Oh yeah,
dick.
that's that.
Oh no. I hope that a lot of women out there are not ashamed of farting.
Or whatever.
I don't really care, but I don't really want you to videotape it or videotape me on the toilet or whatever.
No.
I prefer now.
Boy, I think of all the fans you'd have. The blind Bobs of the world. That you
We have
could
to get
talk
an
about it.
OnlyFans season farting on.
Pee-pee or poo-poo. What? So it was fast on
Well,
the
I just
draw
find
today.
it fascinating that men like this stuff. Like they want
Well,
you to
it-
pee on them, or they
Well,
want
that's just that's another
sniff your
level.
underwear, or they find it so erotic, and I don't understand.
That's why I don't either. A lot of this stuff.
No,
so
I
I can't
know,
help you,
that's-
but and I mean that with peace and love. I mean, I just don't get it. But that's kind of why I'm going down this path. Is because it's just interesting to me that after years and years of being together, you still can teach me things. And this is sort of that zone where you look as a woman, I look as a man. You just go, I just can't.
I'm sure if I said I want to pee on you, you'd let me.
That's different than being into it.
Right.
Right. That's sort of like men will, if you're into something, the man's like, let's go.
Like
whatever.
I don't like it when that happens. Like if I see it in a porn, I'm like, oh God, no, not my thing. So that's good. I'm kind of normal that way.
So wait, but if it was Drew's thing though, you're saying you couldn't hang?
I mean, if he had, I guess, I don't know. I would, I don't know.
She wouldn't be into it, but she could hang. Yeah, she's a good
I
sport.
don't know. I mean, we didn't. I think we've been
Sus.
pretty. Our sex life is pretty much the same as it was when we started dating, and we
What
both
is-
came.
what?
Our sex life is pretty much the same as when we were started dating with a few new positions. It's not like you didn't like suddenly spring it on me that you had this thing about.
Yes.
You know.
Well, that's generally the true of male partners is they'll let you know very early what they're into.
Right.
And once they're showing you what they're into, that's it.
But
That's
I just find it
that's what they're
fascinating
into.
that these
They
are
don't-
things that men love, and that's not your thing.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm always like, why? Like, why do they?
Well, you saw that kid I was talking to on the Stiff Socks podcast,
Yeah.
where he was talking about his foot fetish.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
And he was a good example of that. He couldn't understand it either. It's just I don't know. And then of course, gentlemen, men have
Yes,
a
sir.
period from about age 12 to 14.
We do?
No, not a period, but not a menstrual period, but a window of development from about 12 to 14, where the things they see can often become sort of emblazoned in their memory,
Yeah.
and then in their sexual preferences, like images you saw, moments, right? And he's nodding, right? In my day, it was Playboy. Somebody would come across a certain Playboy and go, "Oh, that's it," and that would just sort of
Right.
boom. It would go in, and that would stay the preference.
Right.
Women don't really have that so much.
I think they might now that there's porn out there. It might start happening for women too. No,
Maybe
because
but,
we were a little more protected from it. You know, in
yeah,
our era.
You're missing my point a little bit. It can be as simple as seeing feet in the sand at the beach, which is
Right.
what that kid saw.
Oh, really?
Now it was what he couldn't appreciate is there were people in bikinis. It was an evocative situation. But what struck him was these feet that looked so good walking through the sand, and that got sexualized, you know, as his puberty kicked in. And I've never spoken to a woman that really has that kind of. And fetishes don't seem the kind of visual fetishes don't happen as much with women at all.
No, I think but I still don't get why, like somebody a horse had to poop on you to want to like
Me?
have a fetish like that. Like what?
Oh, when they go crazy like
when
that?
When did the switch turn on to have like be peed on or whatever? It's just so weird.
We'll have to talk to some people that go through that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't see that. That's a little different. That's a, you know, it's same thing of, I'm not talking
That's
about.
more degradation.
Yeah,
like
and that's a procedure more than a visual fetish, right?
Right.
And the procedural stuff like S&M and things like that, that's different. That is
Yeah,
different.
okay.
But the visual stuff is what I'm talking
No, I
about.
get it.
Visual
So
preferences.
what's your visual?
You're it.
No.
Eating your shit. Eating your shit and hey. No, that's it.
Not yet. We can do that later if you want. So what? No, but
Was
what
that just
is
to impress these guys, or is that something you want to do?
what is your like? If you had anything like, what is it? Like he explained, the girl in the
It was.
crop top.
Remember I told you that one of my friend's brothers had the posters all over the wall.
Right.
I think it was those images.
Right.
I can't remember a specific one per se.
Farrah Fawcett, probably.
No.
She was everywhere.
No, these were Playboy centerfolds.
Oh, the Playboys, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, sort of
so
like
that era.
pretty pinup girls, but
Yeah.
like natural.
Yeah. And but then, you know, I think, you know, we kind of grew up on the beach,
Right.
And I think that was almost too much, like overwhelming for a young male.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all just like that. You know, it's all the same stuff. Too much.
I got a question.
Move to Morocco.
I got a quick question. So on WMMA and on YMH, we were talking about how we were asking the question, would you be comfortable knowing that you masturbate to what your dad masturbated to.
Sure.
Right? That was a little talking point. It's like, would you think that was cool? Would that bug you? Could you do it anymore to that thing? My question is there any study that's been done to know if fetishes and sexual preferences and all that is at all like genetic?
They have tried to do that stuff, and my understanding is there's some evidence with everything with human behavior.
Right.
About 56% is genetics. It's just
Right.
everything.
Wow.
And so there is some stuff. I remember I found one of my dad's porn magazine when I was like about 10 or 11.
Uh-huh.
And it was just an odd. Was
it like
magazine.
cartoon or something?
No, it was like really they had these just like odd. It's the only best I can describe it. Nothing pretty about it. Nothing.
Yeah, it
pretty.
wasn't easy to get stuff in those days either.
Yeah. So
Without your 10-year-old
I definitely
finding it.
wasn't into whatever. If that was his thing, it was not my thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I agree with you. It would make it very difficult
What
to
do you
function.
mean odd? Like, what was it?
Like just not attractive people having sex in various ways and things. It just seemed dark and just seemed odd.
Like amateur shit?
What's that?
You mean like amateur shit?
Yeah. But sort of that. Imagine of that time, like 1968 or 71 or something. It really was a very alternative like world if people were doing or being pictured in pornography. There was nothing artistic about it.
When my grandma died, we went in her basement and she had piles of Playboy old 50s
Oh
and
my
60s.
God, did you sell them?
I couldn't get them. Remember, my lesbian cousin took one.
Oh.
I said, take it.
And it's not, those were your grandfather.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but I was like, I wish I had
Oh my God,
paid
those
for.
are-
I would have had to pay for them because in my family, you don't take stuff from
Yeah.
your grandma. You have to sell it. But those are probably worth something
Oh,
compared
God.
to
They would
everything
be.
else. But I remember looking at them. There was like a Marilyn Monroe one, and there was a
Oh,
they
she
had
was the
all
very
of them.
first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I always thought that Playboy was a step above everything else. So it was actually art in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just porn.
It was still, now that we're learning more about what was going on, there was very exploitative of women. And
Yeah, but they're beautiful women and they have great bodies, and you had to write to get in that magazine. You had to be one of the top, and a lot of people like Jenny McCarthy is now very famous, and she started out doing nudes in Playboy. So, I mean, that's probably healthier than the porn that you see on the internet all the time for young males.
That's what worries me, because you don't know what the impact of. And by the way, who knows the range of what these kids get exposed to?
No, I've seen a lot of stuff on there. I'm like, wow.
Really, you've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff?
It pops up. You see it. When you
What?
go look at it.
Really,
shut
just
up,
shit.
Drew. Jesus. I've never watched.
Damn, bitch. Damn, bitch. All right, listen. Thank you for being a sport and coming in again. Thank you for the emails and voice messages and everything. We appreciate it very, very much. And of course, the college. We're loving doing the call thing. So.
I hope everybody was happy with the calls.
All right.
And thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to come, and we'll be back in another month. I think this is going to be a lot of fun next couple trips. So
Love the butterflies.
thank you.
All right. See you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.